Piezoceramic materials. Uh, Among all the piezo materials, lead zirconia titan (PZT) has been extremely used in transducer, microphones, and actuators. It exhibits good ferroelectric properties and excellent piezoelectric properties. This family of ceramics has high value of piezoelectric charge coefficient and dielectric constant and dielectric charge coefficient. PZT has perovskite structure and AbO3 structure type. Particularly, the piezoelectric materials crystalline in the perovskite structure. PZT has perovskite type crystalline structures which is represented by compositions formula AbO3. So the next slide will be presented by Hassan Aflonger. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramabhai. So now we will be talking about the structures and standard dimension of piezo-ceramic materials. The first structure of piezo-ceramic materials are tin discs or radial type. The dimension of tin discs and radial type structure are outer dimension ranges from 2 to 80 mm and thickness ranges from 0.15 to 30 mm. And outer dimension is very much greater than thickness in case of tin discs or radial type structure of piezoceramic material. And the other one is flat transverse type. Length of this flat transverse type ranges from 1 to 80 mm, width ranges from 1 to 60 mm, and thickness is from 0.1 to 30 mm. Length is very much greater than width, and width is very much greater than thickness in this structure of piezoceramic material. Next one is the shear plate structure of piezoceramic material. Length is 75 mm. It is maximum length of this structure, and width is 25 mm max, and thickness ranges from 0.2 to 10 mm. Length is proportional to width, and width is very much greater than thickness. And the last structure of the piezoceramic materials are tube or transversal type. Outer diameter ranges from 2 to 80 mm. Inner diameter ranges from 0.8 to 74 mm, and the length is 30 mm max. Length of this structure is very much greater than outer diameter, and outer diameter is very much greater than thickness. Now, next we will be talking about the working of piezoelectric materials. The working principle of piezoelectric material is due to piezoelectric effect. And now let's see what is this piezoelectric effect. Piezoelectric effect is the ability of certain materials to generate electric charge in response to applied mechanical stress and vice versa. That means when we give mechanical pressure or force to a piezoelectric material, we will get an electrical energy as output. And again, when we give electrical energy as input to the piezoelectric material, we will get mechanical energy output as mechanical energy. There are two types of piezoelectric materials. The first one is direct piezoelectric materials. When piezoelectric material are subjected to mechanical stress, it generates electric charge in response to applied mechanical stress is called direct piezoelectric effect. Means in direct piezoelectric effect, what happens is that when we give mechanical pressure or force to the piezoelectric material, it will give us electrical energy as output. Some of the examples of direct piezoelectric effect are gas lighter, electric cigarette lighter, and microphones, etc. Now let's see how does this gas lighter or electric cigarette lighter work. What happens is that in electric cigarette lighter, it consists of a spring-loaded hammer, and when the button is pressed, it hits the crystal of piezoelectric material like quartz. This sudden forceful deformation produces a high voltage which ignites the gas called butane gas, which is present in electric cigarette lighter, which burns out. And now here you can see the figure or diagram of the direct piezoelectric material. Here in the figure, you can clearly see when we give mechanical force or pressure as input to the piezoelectric material, the voltmeter will show deflection, which is connected from the two terminals of the piezoelectric material. That means our current is flowing, or we are getting output as electrical energy when we give an mechanical input. Here in this diagram, we will see that mostly what happens is that in piezoelectric material, charges are randomly arranged, or it is charges are electrically balanced. Uh, Charges are randomly balanced. So when no force are applied to the piezoelectric material, what happens that uh, charges cancel out each other, and there is no net polarization. Hence, current does not flow in this case. And let's see the other case. Here in this another case, what happens is that when we give mechanical force or pressure to the piezoelectric material, due to the properties of symmetry, net positive charge appears on one side and net negative charge appears on the other side, and hence the current flow and the meter will show deflection. Basically, what happened here is that when the crystal is compressed, crystal or piezoelectric material is compressed, the ions in its unit cells are displaced, causing the electric polarization of unit cell. Because of the regularity of crystalline structure, this effect accumulates, causing appearance of an electric field or electric potential between the certain faces of crystal. Now, next is the other one. The other one is the inverse piezoelectric effect or converse piezoelectric effect. When an electric field is applied to the crystal, the ion in the unit cell are displaced by piezoelectric electrostatic force, resulting in mechanical deformation of the whole crystal. Is called inverse piezoelectric effect. Here, what happens is that when we give electrical energy to the piezoelectric output, that piezoelectric material, it will show some mechanical deformation. That means by giving the input electric field as input to the piezoelectric material, it will give a mechanical energy as output. And some of the examples of inverse piezoelectric effect are earphones and speaker. Next. Next, we will be seeing or talking about the mathematical overview or of the piezoelectric transducer or material. Here we will be seeing what is the output voltage when we give force or mechanical pressure to the piezoelectric material. Here in the diagram, you can see clearly it is the one piezoelectric material is there. It has some thickness T. There is some change in thickness del T. It is represented by del T, and we are getting and we are applying some force, then we are getting some output E naught. Then what happens when we have already seen in the direct piezoelectric effect that when we give some mechanical force or pressure to the piezoelectric material, it will produce some electric field. That means some charge will be produced, and this charge is proportional to the force applied. So here we can write in the equation, you can see Q is directly proportional to F. Here it is written. If we remove the proportionality sign, it becomes Q is equal to D into F, where D is the charge sensitivity and its unit is coulomb per Newton, and F is the force applied, and it's the unit of force is Newton. The charge at the electron give rise to the output voltage E naught. From the capacitance charge and voltage relationship, we know that Q is equal to C into V naught. So here Cp is the piezoelectric capacitance and V naught is the output voltage. Here in place of V naught, we will be using E naught, which is the output voltage. So we can write Q is equal to Cp into V naught as Q is equal to Cp into E naught. If you want to take out E naught, then we will get E naught is equal to Q upon Cp. That is charge upon piezoelectric capacitance. Now from equation 1, which is Q is equals to dF, we can get that output voltage E naught is equal to dF upon Cp, where I've already told Cp is the piezoelectric capacitance between electrodes. And capacitance between electrode is Cp is equals to Er E naught into A upon T, where Er is the relative permittivity, E naught is the relative permittivity of free space, A is the area, and T is the thickness. Therefore, by further calculation of output voltage E naught becomes E naught is equals to dF. By putting the value of Cp in place of C, we will be putting the value of Cp, which is Er E naught upon A. Our equation becomes E naught is equals to dF upon Er E naught into A upon T. By further calculation, we get E naught is equals to dFT upon Er E naught into A. Now we can arrange this above equation in this form. E naught is equals to d upon Er E naught into F upon A into T. Here we are taking d upon Er and E naught as G, which is voltage sensitivity, and force upon area is pressure. So our final output of the output voltage when we give some force to the piezoelectric will be the product of voltage sensitivity, which product of voltage sensitivity into pressure into thickness. And this is the output of the piezoelectric material when we give some force to the piezoelectric material, and the unit of this voltage sensitivity is voltmeter per Newton. Thank you. And the next slide will be presented by Nipun Roy. Nipun, please continue.
Thank you, Hassan. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am. So I will be explaining the concept of power generating source. So, SU for energy generation, and second point is human body act as a primary energy source. So why we are calling it power generating source, because using the source and piezoelectric elements, we are making a system which will convert pressure or force into electrical energy. So here, to build a system, the two important things we should look upon is the orientation of our foot angle and human body weight. Because what we will do is we will put a piezoelectric sensor or piezoelectric crystal on the sole of a shoe, and so that when we walk or run or do some athletic activities, then the potential energy of our body, or we can say the weight of the body, will be exerted, or the pressure or force will be exerted on the piezoelectric crystal, which will, we know that piezoelectric sensors can convert force or pressure into electrical energy. So similarly, we will convert this human potential energy, or we say weight, into a electrical energy. The figure beside shows the trajectory of human foot ankle, because it is important for us to know the movement of our foot and also the human body weight for this system. So it is shown in 5 different stages, and 2 parameters we have observed. That is angular velocity and acceleration of our foot angle in 3 different directions, I, J, and K. And for distinction, 3 different signs are used. For I-axis, light line, and for Z-axis, dark line, and for K-axis, dotted line.
पावर
Ma'am?
जनरेटिंग सोर्स
Power generating source. So we have these 2 parameters, angular velocity and acceleration, as when we walk or run, in 5 different stages. Next slide. What are the components to be used? First is piezoelectric sensor. Yes, we are converting the pressure or force or the weight of the body into electrical energy. So piezoelectric sensor is the most essential thing for the system. Then multimeter for different parameters like resistance, current or voltage measurement. The multimeter is required. And for breadboard, in final in the making of final system, we have not used the breadboard, but for testing the circuit, we are using the breadboard. Same goes to LED. Just to check the system if the circuitry is working or not, we will use the LED. Then capacitor and diode for making bridge rectifiers. That's the next. Schematic block diagram of power generating source. So this is the block diagram of how the power generating system of power generating source will be constructed. First, pressure is applied. Pressure is applied due to running or working. It will be exerted on the shoe of our sole, and the piezoelectric sensor will convert that into electrical energy, which will be an AC output. So using bridge rectifier circuit, we will convert that AC signal into DC using bridge rectifier. And then storage capacitor for reducing the rippling effect, the DC. Then in regulator circuit, we will use a resistor and Zener diode. And then finally, the rechargeable battery where the charge will produced will be stored. So next. The working power of power generating soup. Sorry, the title is wrong. Actually, it should be procedure of power generating soup. First step is the measurement of the sole. First, we measure the size and shape of the sole of the shoe, and then cut out an ideal material. And accordingly, we will cut that sole and also the PVC material, which will be used on which, sir, जिसमें cut out the ideal materials. सर जो आइडियल जो पीवीसी मटेरियल होगा जिसमें हम लोग पीजीओ एलिमेंट को माउंट करेंगे उसको भी accordingly कट करेंगे. Then soldering the PGO elements together, then we will solder the PGO other elements together in parallel so that we have the maximum current. Construction of diode, bridge rectifier, and voltage regulator, and then we will connect and construct that diode bridge rectifier because the output which we will get will be an AC output. So we need to convert it into DC output. So we will use that bridge rectifier and voltage regulator. And voltage regulator will be prepared using resistor and Zener diode. Adding foam pushers. We will glue the small foams on the center of piezoelectric disc so that when we work or when the pressure is exerted, then the piezoelectric discs are squeezed properly and effectively so that we can get the optimum result. Then observation and testing. Then
About the circuit diagram of the piezoelectric shoe. So we are using here one piezo sensor, bridge rectifier, one diode, one capacitor, resistance, LED, and switch. So what is going to happen in the how the working is going there in the circuit? Let us explore this circuit. So when we apply some kind of mechanical pressure or stress in the piezoelectric sensor, it will convert that pressure and stress into electrical energy. So we will obtain some kind of sinusoidal voltage or current. So that will be fed to the bridge rectifier. That bridge rectifier is going to rectify this sinusoidal voltage into DC output, and that DC output is going to fed through the a diode and for maintaining the unidirectional level of current. We are using here a capacitor parallelly connected across the bridge rectifier. It is used for just to cancelling all the ripples that is being present in the DC output voltage, and that particular dead current is going to flow through the LED through a resistance. So the resistance is being used for the protection of the LED devices. So we are using here 1 kilo ohm resistance. So basically, whatever for the repetition of the application of the pressure at every instant of time, we are getting considerable amount of small amount of current and voltage, and that is we are going to store in a battery. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, so these are the graphs which we have obtained in the how the when we investigate the circuit in a very detailed and descriptive manner. We are just going to extrapolate. We have extrapolated the graph about the working of the internal working of the circuit. So here the force is given, it's being applied in respect to the time because we are applying some mechanical stress over the piezoelectric crystal. We are applying at every instant of time. We are giving some applying some amount of force. So this is the variation of the force is given respect to time corresponding to heat. We are obtaining some considerable amount of voltage that is being obtained here. Here we are seeing that voltage is obtained with the respect to the time, and corresponding we are also observing the value of the current with respect to the time. So what we are going to get from these results, actually we are just calculating the voltage at every instant of time. We are at every instant of time we are applying some kind of force, and that force is going to convert into voltage and corresponding the current. So by multiplying the corresponding voltage and current, we are just trying to find out the power output, because we are at every instant of time, you know that the angle, the orientation of the feet is going to be changed at every instant of time. So at every instant of time, the force is going to change, and as amount sometimes the position of the angle depends on how much force you are applying on the piezoelectric crystal. So that piezoelectric crystal will give you how much amount of voltage is going to be changes is there. Some considerable amount of changes will be there in the voltage and there in the current, and just we are just trying to obtain that the power source that is needed to charge the battery so that we can use it for other small applications. Next slide. Okay, so how we are just going to calculations? What are the calculations and results we are going to obtain? Okay, assume the 100 footsteps used to push the plate of piezoelectric transducer in 1 hour. Okay, we are just considering that for 1 hour we are considering that we have pushed 100 footsteps. So then a current produced for 1 footstep current, it's approximately equal to 100 milliampere. So for 1 footstep we are obtaining the value of the current. Yes, that is 100 milliampere. Then for 100 footsteps it will be 10 into 100, that is okay, 1000 milliampere. So power produced for one footstep it's a 10 milliampere. Okay, power produced for 1 step voltage. Okay, power produced for for 1 milliamp. So for one footstep the current will be produced with 10 milliampere, and for one footstep the voltage will be produced will be 12 volt. So for one footstep power it will be 12 into 10, that is 120 milliwatts. So it is only for one footstep. So for one footstep the current is produced 10 milliampere, and for one footstep voltage the voltage will be produced with 12 volt. So if we product these two, we will get 120 milliwatt of power. So for 100 footstep current it will be 1 ampere, and for 100 footstep voltage it will be 12 volt. Okay, so for 100 footstep power it will be 12 watts. I think it will be 12 millivolt for one step foot voltage. There is one this correction will be for it will be 12 millivolt. So that multiplication, and for 100 it will be going to be 12 volt. So So in this way, we approach the calculations. How the power is being generated by the pressing. Thank you, Kosik. Good evening, everyone. So now I'm talking about the advantages of piezoelectric shoes. Energy generating shoes are compact in working. The force required by elderly people while working is maximum than those young people. It helps the elder people to work easily. Second point, the reduce the wastage of human energy and utilizing the power generated when needed. It is more convenient and easily portable from one place to another. Then it doesn't require manual recharging or battery maintenance. Next slide. Now the disadvantage of piezoelectric shoes. They cannot be used for truly static measurements. They can pick up stray voltages in connecting wires, may get affected by long use at high temperature. It may not cover electric crisis for large area. Now, next slide. Now the future scope for piezoelectric shoes. Since India is a populated country, so the installation of this kind of advanced technology will indicate the growth of the nation. Load shedding can be reduced by using piezoelectric shoes. Any area with high amount of foot pressure or vibrational energy can be transformed into renewable energy source. Next point. Next slide. So the several methods to increase efficiency by changing the crystal orientation. Serial connection of piezo capacitor allows to multiply the maximum voltage generated by the harvester. Larger surface area may increase its efficiency. Thank you, sir. I want to say something about the conclusion part of the project, sir. Sir, we know that, sir, in day-to-day life, this project is actually for, sir, small application purposes. It cannot be used for higher energy investing. Suppose, sir, this piezoelectric shoe is made only for when we are in emergency situation, sir. Suppose, sir, I want to charge my phone and suppose we have get out from somewhere and we want to charge the phone at some instant of time. We need some emergency application purposes, so we can use the shoes by walking at some certain kind of distances. So it can be used for small application purposes, and we can use only when there is a accidental crisis of energy, when we need at a particular instant of time. So this should become very much effective in case of emergency crisis of energy. So that's all for today's presentation, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.